Well, good evening, friends, and welcome to the podcast. Tonight we're going to do a special theme night, and the theme, of course, is how to prepare your snowmobile for the summer months. And we've got our friends on, Ben and Rob. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Mike. And yourself? You still sound like you got a cold.
Oh, yeah, I'm right in the middle of it. I'm going to let the two of you do most of the talking tonight. But, Ben, how are you doing?
Very good, Mike. Good to see you both.
Well, good, good. Well, cool. So, yeah, I'm since I've got a cold, I'm going to step back here. I'll be here, but I'm going to let the two of you do most of the talking, and let's get a conversation started on how to prepare your sled, modern or vintage, for the summer season.
Okay, I'll start off, Ben. You're supposed to do what I say, not what I do, because my snowmobile is still sitting on the cottage beside the woodshed. I haven't put it away yet, but it's still sitting on snow, but there's no snow around it. But
I,
I'm
I,
hoping next weekend to get up, and that's going to be my time to store it and put away. Yeah.
I'm still hoping for more snow. We could get that freak late day April storm.
I've seen us the middle of May go snowmobiling before, but I don't think
Yeah,
it's going to happen
that'd
this
be a
year.
nice treat.
Well,
No,
Duluth,
not very likely.
Duluth, Minnesota had their big snowcross last weekend, and they had lots of snow for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
for those
there's
people
really
get
so many things.
yes, but for those people getting ready to put their snowmobiles away, there's a number of things that you should be checking before you put it away. All the time before I put mine away, the last few tanks, I always put the quick shot in. The quick shot is one of the Amsoil's products to try to eliminate the ethanol problem. It's not a gas stabilizer, but it works like for about 3 months as a gas stabilizer, but it stops the fuel from separating. And I haven't used my snowmobile for 2 months now, and I know the gas in it is still going to be good because this is in it. So I will go up and start it the next couple of weeks and run it. And when I do start it, that's when I'll be putting that gas stabilizer. There's a lot of different gas stabilizers on the market. There's a lot of them where you got to add a whole bottle to 5 gallons of gas. Amsoil, 1 ounce does 2.5 gallons. So this 16-ounce bottle, it goes a long ways. And some of my friends have tested it, and at the end of 2 years, the fuel was still good. Some of them, at the end of 1 year, the fuel starts to go bad. So different stabilizer lasts different lengths. What do you do for yours before you put it away, Mike?
Usually I do the chain case oil and try to fog it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there we go. I'm trying to get this on my monitor, my secondary monitor here, so I can make sure we're going live.
Yeah, this
And
this
then,
year more than other years, chain case was important because a lot of times out this year we came across cricks, slush, not like normal winter. And if you don't get the water out of the chain case, it can start rusting inside there, and it turns the oil milky. Even though you got bearings and seals on the bottom of the front drives, water will still get in the chain case, and water's harmful for everything. So it's a good thing to change the chain case this time of year. That way it has clean oil in it for the whole summer.
extra protection.
Yeah, yeah.
And I also like to use the. Let me see if I've got a graphic
One of the
for it.
challenges,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Ben.
one of the challenges with the vintage sleds is the seals are typically not good. So you have to actually pay extra attention to make sure that you are keeping your chain case topped off. And there's a higher likelihood of water infiltration because the seals are typically not good on those.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And Amsoil does have a product for when you're putting your machine away for the winter. You can fog it. Older machines are real easy to fog. Some of the new engines, the engines are down so low you can't get the spray in there. But one of my local mechanics that runs a lot of Amsoil on all his machines, he puts a coat hanger down and grabs the oil injection cable and lifts it up. So it's dumping 10 times more oil into the cylinder than it normally would, and he runs it till it fogs the engine out. But it's fogged with the Amsoil oil. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
That's one way to do it because I know the new machines are really hard to fog. The old ones, the carpenters, some of them are sitting outside of the hood. Yeah, some of them are real easy to fog. But
True. Yeah.
fogging will stop condensation, moisture, surface rust on the inside of the cylinder. Um, gas does evaporate. Once the gas evaporates, if you're not running pre-mix, there's nothing left in there, and rust will occur. So by fogging, it helps prevent that problem. A lot of people get regular oil, try to spray it in, but the fogging oil has a special additive in it to make it easier to start when you bring it out in the fall. So it is beneficial to use. And I tell my people, before you're putting a machine away, do a visual. Like this year, I'm going to check all my bearings and everything before I put away, because I crossed more water this year than I ever have. And water gets in a bearing, and during the summertime, that bearing will start rusting. And guess what? There'll be snow on the ground before I get to look at the machine again, and I'll just get out and take it for a ride. I don't want a bearing go, so I'll check it now. It's a lot easier to change it during the summertime than it is during the wintertime. And just by lifting the back end up and reaching all those bogey wheels, you can touch them, you can wiggle them, you can see if a bearing's gone. You can check your front boots, make sure none of the boots are ripped and stuff like that on the snowmobile. Um, some don't have grease fittings, but a lot of them do have free grease fittings on the front ball joints and all that, and the tie rods and everything. Best way to get the moisture out of there is by putting new grease in there. So a lot of pre-maintenance makes machines last longer. And Amsoil has a lot of products that help you do that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And actually, I'm going to go back a little bit. One of the things I neglected to say at the beginning of this podcast is the reason the gentleman in the middle of the screen, Ben, is here tonight is because he has signed up under us as an Amsoil dealer. So he's part of the podcast team. And there's a lot of advantages to doing that. And I'll tell you why. I'm signed up under Rob as an Amsoil dealer, and now Ben is signed up under me. And if you sign up under Ben, you've got all three of us available to you as a support team. And each of us brings a lot of different things to the table that maybe other Amsoil dealers who are wanting to recruit you may not. And I'll give you some examples. Rob has been doing Amsoil for over 40 years. So he knows all of the different business models. There's a lot of different ways you can do this Amsoil business. And he knows them all. And he works them all, but his specialty is going to shows and events, races, things like this, any kind of car shows, snowmobile shows, boat shows, events, races. So if you like to attend those, as we all do, and want to use to do Amsoil as a business opportunity, a way to make some money, Rob can coach you on all of the little nuances of how to do that. So he's an excellent resource for that. He also knows the product line in and out, inside, outside, backward, forward. So he's an incredible resource. The thing that I bring to the table is I do a lot with social media. I can help jumpstart you with social media as far as I've got some places that you can post to generate leads. I can also use this podcast to help promote you like we're doing tonight with Ben. We're promoting him and his dealership. We've got his link in the description. So if you like what you're seeing, the links in the description are all to him. You sign up under him, whether you're ordering products or signing up as a dealer, joining the preferred customer program. It's all under Ben, and we all three of us benefit. So just putting that out there. That's why we're doing this tonight. And we'll get back to what we were talking about as far as prepping your sled for summer. I just wanted to get that in there.
And there's a lot of different benefits of becoming.
Appreciate this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's a lot of different benefits of becoming a dealer.
Oh, here we go.
Go ahead, Ben.
But I'm going to put you full screen.
This particular product, Mike and Rob, is really an excellent product. I've been really impressed with this metal protector. And you talk about your undercarriage. You know, this is an excellent treatment for rust prevention, oxidation prevention on your aluminum parts. And I found that there's a lot of joints on the front of my Renegade that is not greasable. So a product like this really infiltrates and purges the water and protects the metal.
Yes. I did a contest one time with the MP, and I tell the guy, can you find me a new use for it? And we had 57 people send informations in. One guy had a cabin up north. He had wooden windows. And by spraying the wooden windows with the MP, it made it open and close so much easier. I use it for my locks to stop them from freezing up. It has like a silicone in it. I use it for my ignition wires too, because we have a creek down here that overflows, and they put the sign up, you're not supposed to go that way anymore, but it's a shorter distance for me to get the dog park that way, so I go through the creek. Well, it stops my engine from shorting out by having to spray it on the wires. Yeah. We use it on our sliders of our snowmobile, especially our oval racing machine that runs on bare ice. We spray the sliders ahead of time with the MP, keep them cool and make them last longer. I have another guy uses for cut spray, and another guy uses for gun cleaning because it's a 5-weight oil. It's a thin oil, and he says the other oil he uses you can smell when you shoot it. Amsoil eliminates that problem. So it does have 101 uses. It's a great product for everything. Yeah.
In fact, can I tell you a use that I have for it? And in fact, it's just out of reach. Let me grab it. So I've got, let me put myself full screen real quick. Got this beard trimmer. What I do a few times a year is I'll take it out in the garage and I'll use the compressor to blow all the hair and clippings out of, there we go, out of this, get it all cleaned up with the compressor, and then I'll spray it thoroughly, all these moving parts with the M&P. And
Yep.
I've been using this for years, doing that for years, and it, I believe it preserves the life. So just all sorts of uses, with automotive things, motorized things, but things around the house, like you said, with the windows and everything, just hundreds and hundreds of uses for this.
The one shop he has a fan it's called a big ass boy fan. It's 10 feet blades on it, one fan in the middle of the shop, and it goes really slow, but it whines and makes a noise. He said, I paid a lot of money for that fan and it works really well, but look at the noise it makes. I shut it off when no one's here because it's too noisy. I said, here, give me that 18-foot ladder. We went up there, sprayed it with MP. It's been a year and a half now, hasn't made a noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eliminated the problem for him. Yeah, I use it on the fan on the back of my wood stove. Everything else evaporated off because wood stove gets so hot. The Amsoil hasn't. And it's been 5 years since I sprayed that electric motor and it still works good.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. But let me tell you about the business part first for a minute. A lot of people want to know why become an Amsoil dealer. My daughter became an Amsoil dealer because she lives right downtown Toronto in an apartment. She works 2 jobs and keeps saying, Dad, can I borrow some groceries? At the end of the month, I got rent and all that pay. So I talked to her, and why don't you come help me do the shows? So she started coming help me doing shows, and she enjoys it. She likes doing the shows. Matter of fact, this weekend I was sick, so she did the motorcycle show herself. I had to go up Sunday and help because she's a church person and she wanted to go to church Sunday afternoon. And while I'm sitting there, a customer came up and started talking and said, I work at a Honda dealership. And everybody at a Honda manufacturers. And everybody keeps asking me, where to buy tires, where to buy this. How do I get involved in Amsoil? So we signed that guy as a dealer, and we said, you can sign all your friends up as a preferred customer. They can buy directly from Amsoil. They'll get a discount, and every time they do, you'll get a bonus check. He said, I will? I said, yes. So my daughter came back, and she explained to him how she's doing the business. She does the shows. My daughter lives in an apartment building, can't carry inventory, doesn't, her car's sitting at home 50 miles away from where she lives. She says, I can't deliver. He says, I signed the people up. They order themselves. And she says, here's my computer printout. These are the amount of people ordered last month. And he looked through it and he said, that guy ordered $1,200 worth. He said, yeah, that guy ordered a 45-gallon drum. Every time they order, I get a bonus check.
It adds up.
Yes, Amsoil is a good part-time business where you can grow it into a full-time income. And you can break it off to any division you want. Whether you want to be like me, I love going to shows. Coming up soon is going to be the automotive flea markets. I set up a tent, I have my chair, I have my barbecue, have the product on the front table, and I sit there and chat to people going by. And pretty soon we're going to be going to the races soon. And I go with my friends that race, I set a booth up behind them. I help rent on the machines, but I have a table for the product there. And all day long, people are coming over and asking me questions. And I tell them the best possible way to buy the product is you can sign up too. You can buy it directly from Amsoil. No money out of my pocket, but every month they get a profit check showing how much they bought. It's a fun part-time business that grow into a full-time income. Yeah. Which way do you want to go with your business, Ben? Which direction are you looking at?
Well, partly for me, before I got involved with Amsoil, I was always struggling to find the source for different products. And what I found is, as I've gotten more knowledgeable about what Amsoil has, they have all the products I really need. We do some forestry work, so I have a dozer and a splitter and some other tools that use some oils. And whether it's the compact tractor for the hydraulic and transmission fluid, or other oils that I need for the engine, or the dozer, multiple fluids for that, I really find that for my own needs, it gives me access to a great product at a great price. But as we got more involved with the snowmobile shows, I can see a nice tie-in there. So, I, have a lot of contacts, and should some of my contacts want to get the very best oils and lubricants, I hope that they'll, come looking as well, and learn a little bit more, and maybe sign up.
You mentioned a real cute item that I heard. A product at a good price. At the show this weekend, there was other competitions there selling Amsoil. One store we call Canadian Tire, a large store all across Canada here, and they sell it for $29.99 a quart. The motorcycle shop across from me, they were selling it for $25 a quart. I had the oil on the table on display for $19.99 a quart. But if they sign up as a dealer, they buy it directly themselves. They buy $100 worth, they get free shipping right to their house, and they get it for $15 a quart. And the biggest problem with Amsoil, people don't know where to find it. I said, you can sign up yourself, you can order it yourself, show the book to 2 or 3 of your friends, get them in some stuff. You buy $100 worth, free shipping right to your door. And they don't have to buy a full case. Say they have a motorcycle, like I just did, a motorcycle show, but they also have a lawnmower, snowmobile, chainsaws, all the other stuff. I said, you can get 2 bottles of that, 3 bottles of that. Oh, you're already at the $100 mark. Yeah, and you get free shipping right to your door. So that saves me from. Years ago, I used to carry thousands of dollars worth of inventory, and I'd have people knocking on my door all the time. Can I get 2 quarts off you? During supper, somebody knocking on the door. Can I get 2 quarts? I'm low on oil. Now I sign people up. They buy directly from Amsoil. I just look at the computer printout. Yes, yes, and I give them the best possible price they can by becoming a preferred customer. They get a great savings. They order themselves, and by ordering themselves, they buy more. And I find the people, I keep track of how much the people to buy. And once some people, one guy was buying $600 worth in a month. He's only a preferred customer. I know he doesn't have that many cars. So I phoned him up and said, George, you bought $600 last month, and this month you're already at 700. I said, what are you doing? And he said, well, my brother-in-law has a garage, so I'm buying it, taking it to him. I said, how much money are you making off that, George? He said, well, I'm not making anything. I'm giving them my price. George, if you upgrade from a preferred customer to a dealer, you can sign him up. He can buy directly from Amsoil. It makes it better for him, for his accountant, when he buying directly from Amsoil for his billing and all that. And every time he buys, Amsoil is going to send you a 10% bonus. So if he buys $1,000 worth of product, you're going to get a $100 check from Amsoil. He said, oh, really? George has 22 accounts under him now, and he still does the business part-time. Yep.
Nice. He's doing nice for himself.
Yes, yes. He's got a couple of brand new dealerships. He's got 4 or 5 small engine shops carrying it, and about 6 garages carrying it. And now he's working on commercial accounts. Commercial accounts buy more. They buy drums.
Yeah, that adds up.
Yeah, like if your excavator probably takes a drum just on hydraulic oil.
Yeah, and it's true. Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
I think there's a misconception too that there are quotas, that you have a minimum quantity to purchase, and it's just not so. So that maybe you can talk about that a little, Rob.
The only quotas is for the free shipping. Like if you only wanted 2 quarts of small engine, you can order that, and it's going to cost you $9 for shipping. But if you bought $100 worth, you get free shipping. There's no quotas. I got guys that just ordered. They need 1 quart of compressor oil. Yeah, and they wanted it that week because their brand new compressor was coming in, and they didn't want that petroleum oil in the compressor. They wanted Amsoil in it. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Now we've got tons of comments coming in. I've got to say I'm impressed with our viewers tonight. I'm going to go through them real quick. Someone saying hi guys on Facebook. Our good friend James Whiteside is saying a guy can dream. I don't know if he's talking about the snow, or I'm not sure, because this was quite a few minutes ago he posted that. Kevin Colhane says, hi guys, looking forward to learning some things tonight. Cool, and I'm hoping we deliver for you. Let's see, someone on Facebook watching from Carthage, New York. It's probably a friend of yours, Ben.
Dave Trim, I'm guessing.
Nice. Oh, our good friend Tim Bewick says, good evening from Marlboro, New York. Very nice.
Didn't New York earthquake?
Oh yeah, did anyone feel that the other day? That earthquake?
I personally did not. No.
Oh, that's scary, eh?
It is. I didn't feel it, but people in my area said they felt it. I was driving at the time, so I guess that's why I didn't feel it.
Mike, I thought everything's supposed to happen Monday night.
I know, huh? Yeah, you never know, man. But yeah, James Whiteside says I greased my sled this year to offset the whopping 10 miles I put on it. Yeah, I hear that. It's been a dud of a year for snowmobiling. Jeffrey Patton says, "Good evening, Mike, Rob, and regular viewers." He's a regular viewer from Pennsylvania. Oh, and of course, our good friend Glenn Ford says, "Good evening, guys. Nice to see you." My wonderful girlfriend Carlene says, "Good evening. Nice to see you." Don't forget to wish Mike happy 60th birthday tomorrow. Oh, the secret's out.
Hey,
Oh,
happy birthday, Mike.
happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate that so much for keeping that a secret, but that's all right. That was it wasn't a secret anyway. James Whiteside says yes, late season snow. We were talking about that a few minutes ago. That's what he's referring to. Keith Jash says hello from Harwington, Connecticut. My good friend John Spranger Jr. says good evening to Mike, Ben, and Rob. Nice to see you, John. And oh, here we go. Preferred customer through Tom. Have used Dominator for years. Rich Shad, our good friend,
Thank
Rich
you,
Shad.
Rich.
Some
Cool
of my
deal.
some of my best preferred people are customers that became preferreds because they got it at a better price.
And that's a gift that keeps on giving because Rich is getting a great price with free shipping over $100, and all three of us benefit from this. And the cool thing that this is helping the commissions I make from Amsoil go to offsetting the cost of doing this podcast. So if people are enjoying this podcast, if you sign up under Ben, all three of us are benefiting, and it's helping to support this podcast. And we really appreciate everyone who does that. Oh, and one last thing, not one last thing. Where the heck? Oh, I don't know where it went. I had a little award that Amsoil sent me, a sales accomplishment award. I had it on the windowsill here. I don't know where it went, but I was going to brag on that for a minute and show that Amsoil recognizes you for your efforts. But I don't know. I don't know where it went. Anyway, please continue.
So Ben, next time, I don't know if you ever tried this before, but next time you put your vehicle away, try one of these products. It's called Miracle Wash. It's not available in Canada, so every time I go down the States, I bring back 2 or 3 cases of it. Instead of using soap and water to wash a car, you can spray this on the car. It lifts the dirt off the paint, and you just take a rag and wipe it off, and it leaves a polish on the car. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I did a Motorama show in Toronto. These $100,000 cars or $200,000 cars all on display. The room is dusty. They get up in the morning, they come back to the show, the car's all dusty. 30 of the guys I seen had this product out cleaning their cars. Instead of soap and water, it's a miracle wash. It comes out like a foam and it lifts the dirt up and it doesn't scratch the paint. And you wipe it off, but it leaves wax coating on it. Now, I clean all of my snowmobiles before I put it away. And a lot of times, the guys with the ATVs like to clean them before they take them out because the dirt don't stick. But we do have a different product for that called Mudslinger. That's also not available in Canada. Yeah. One of the guys who tell me that races dirt bikes, he come back in after a 20-lap race. His dirt bike weighed 50 pounds more. His brother used a mudslinger. His bike was 42 pounds lighter than his because the mud didn't stick as much to the bike.
Wow.
But it does have other products out besides the oil. You know,
In fact, I've got a graphic, Rob. Let me put this up because we're talking about some of these things. Did you want to talk these up while I've got that on the screen, or?
every one of them is not available in Canada, but they work good. The heavy duty MP, I my buddies use it for undercoating. They a lot of my buddies have salt plowing trucks and snow plowing and all that, and they spray their vehicles for that, for the salt doesn't stick to it. They use it on their plows. Now, I bore some off them. I sprayed on my shovel because when the snow's wet, the snow doesn't stick to the shovel because the heavy duty MP. Now the second one from the right is the MP, the regular metal protector. That's the one available in Canada. We do have that. Next one is Power Foam. We used to have that available in Canada 20 years ago. And a lot of cars, like the old cars that had carburetors and stuff like that, people used to like spray stuff down the carburetor. And I would have 2 clear glasses and I'd get another brand, spray it, and it'd be like a Varsol spraying in. You'd spray that Amsoil Power Foam in it, and it was like the oven cleaner stuff. It just kept foaming. Now, what do you think would clean more? A one stream going through or a whole foam would go through? So we used to do demonstrations at when we did outdoor meetings with the Amsoil and show the people how our product worked. And that was one of the ones we used to love to show, that one there. The one in between is silicone spray. Well, the MP has silicone in it already, so that's what I use for my electrical wires and all that. And the next one is the mud slinger, and that's the one I use already, and the brake cleaner. I've never had a chance to use it yet. Someday I'm going to buy some. If it works as good as the other product, I know it's going to work pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Here we go.
Which one's that? You got Ben?
That's the
Brake
brake
parts,
cleaner.
yes.
Brake part cleaner. Good. Let me know how it works.
I have already used it. I had to do the brakes on my daughter's Subaru,
Yeah.
and installing new rotors and also cleaning the other components. I really used this and really was very impressed with this product. Excellent product. You mentioned also the HDMP, the Metal Protector HD.
Yes.
This is excellent for your trailers. There's a lot of salt spray that comes underneath the trailers from the winter. And whether it's the coupler or the jack or the torsion bar, those components are very expensive to replace. So I highly recommend this product as one that would really serve that need quite happily.
I bought a new featherweight aluminum trailer last year, and I used a whole can of that to undercoat the whole thing. Because aluminum doesn't take rust as good as metal. I don't know why they came out with aluminum trailer.
Save some gas mileage. So instead of 8 miles per gallon, you're getting 9 towing it.
Yeah, mine's so full of stuff, it ain't going to make a difference. I didn't save weight. Yeah.
It's a good theory, but I don't know that it holds up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
With that heavy duty, the thing I did with it last fall, this is the second fall I've done this now. I spray all I put my car up on on those little stands, the ramps that you back up on, and I just get under there with a crawler and I spray everything underneath there, except for the exhaust, of course. And then also, it's an older car, so I don't really care so much. I spray the rocker panels, and even today in April, there's still a thick layer of that stuff on those rocker panels. You can see it. So you can see the protection at work. I don't know if I would do that to a newer car, but with an older, it's a 12-year-old car, I don't mind spraying the rocker panels with that. It gives it some protection.
My daughter's little car is a 205, but it's a little Pontiac Wave. You don't have them down in the States. It's a little two-seater car, but the front tires are so small. And when you're driving through the slush and you stop and you get out the next morning, you can't turn the wheels because it's frozen in there, hard packed. I have to go get the axe and break that snow out of there. I sprayed it with the heavy duty MP, and I get up the next day and there's no slush on the one side.
Wow, repelled it.
One side, not the other side, just to see if it'd make a difference. But it stopped the slush from sticking up there.
That's amazing. Slush repellent.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Now the mudslinger might have did that too, but I don't know. But I know the heavy duty MP did a great job.
Nice.
Yeah. Amsoil has a lot of products. Like they have a gun oil all available too. Yeah, they have a lot of products customers can use for their own personal use once they get a preferred account. It's all the Amsoil products are available. And if you send Mike an email, or no, you click on the link down before, you can get an Amsoil catalog sent to you. And in the Amsoil catalog, we don't hide the price. We show you what it should retail for. Some shops sell it more. And I asked one guy, why do you sell it more? He says, my shelf costs more money. So it costs me X amount to have so many products on the shelves. So I have to charge more to cover my costs. I understand that. But this is what it's supposed to sell for. And this is how much, as a preferred customer, you get it for. Yeah. So we don't hide the price. We show you the price and what you can save it. Or if you have a commercial or a retail account and you want to know a little bit more information about all the products we have available, we have the bigger catalog, tells you a little bit about all the products. And I think there was all the products Mike was just showing a minute ago, all the heavy duty products and all that available. Drop a message in the link below and we'll make sure you get one of those catalogs, let you know about all the products I have available. And you can have the product shipped right to your house. You don't have to go look for a shop to get it.
Absolutely. There's links in the description, and everything goes toward Ben. So if you do a catalog request, it'll go to Ben. If you decide to sign up as a preferred customer, that'll go through Ben. And if you decide to just go visit the website and do some shopping, that'll all go through Ben because it's got a unique a link that's unique to him. This is a good time also. Go ahead.
If you also know some people yourself that has a shop or somebody that might want to use a lot of the product, you can also become a dealer like me, Mike, or Ben, and you can sign that place up. And every time they order, you're going to get a kickback from that order.
Yes, and it does add up.
And Ben will be there to help you do the sales. I'll be there to help you do promotions and all that. And if you want to know how to do stuff on the website, that's what Mike's here for. If you
Yeah,
want to know how to promote your business on the website, how to get a web page, how to do a broadcast, Mike's
yeah.
here to help us do that.
We can do podcasts just like this to help you get the word out. In
Yep.
fact, this is a good a good opportunity to put this up on the screen. This is Ben's card. And I'm going to leave this up here for a minute. So that's got his referral number on it, and as well as his contact information. So
Ben,
if you like what, go ahead.
What's the dog's name?
That is Canine Phillip. He's
Canine
a
Phillip.
good dog.
Nice. Very cool. So if you like what you're hearing, this is the way to get a hold of Ben and get the party started. Get your party with Amsoil started, whether as a user of the Amsoil products at the best possible price with a preferred customer program, or if you like the idea of a business opportunity. Either way, all three of us are here to help you on your journey with that.
And a lot of you are thinking, well, where am I going to find customers from? Do you have a small engine shop you take equipment, go to get fixed? Drop them off a brochure. Do you have an automotive shop you go to? Take the guy a brochure and tell him you can set him up. You can get him product directly from Amsoil, because a lot of people don't know that. A Napa store. Yeah. You got a friend that's got some backhoe, heavy equipment, a lot of equipment that he uses. Ask him how much does he pay for his oil? Does he want an oil that's going to make the equipment last longer? And give him a brochure and say, tell me what you think about this. And you know what? Some of the people are probably say to you, I use that in my snowmobile. It works really good. Or I use that in my motorcycle. It worked good. Well, if it worked good in that application, how good do you think it'd work in your big equipment?
Yeah, for sure. And I'll give you another example too. One of the things I do, and I think Ben and I have been talking about this, I think we're going to do a variation on this. I go to a lot of snowmobile shows and muscle car shows because I do a vintage snowmobile podcast and a muscle car podcast. I show up and I get a little Ziploc bag with a catalog in it and a DVD of the podcast. And I say, hey, would you like a free DVD of a muscle car podcast or a vintage snowmobile podcast, depending on the show I'm at? And I'll hand out 25 or 50 of those at a show. And they're all happy to have it. And it's a great way to get the word out about Amsoil. And then I've created, let me see if I can put this full screen. I've created a label and I can help you with this. I can help you to create a label just like this. It talks about the podcast, whatever you want to say on the label. And I can help you on that. I can show you the website that'll help you print it out and pick out the right size labels. And all you have to do is go to a local printing place. I go to my local library and print out, 50 or 100 of those labels and stick them on the catalogs, put them in a Ziploc. You've seen them, Ben, a nice little presentation, the Ziploc bag with the, in fact, I think you gave some out at one of your shows not too long ago.
Yes, you were very kind to give us a supply to hand out at the celebration for Maddie Bewick. And so everyone that participated received one.
Wonderful. And I think where I'm going with that is you can buy these catalogs. And if you're a dealer under any of the three of us, and buy some catalogs, it's a few bucks, but you can get, 100 or several hundred catalogs. I think it's $40, $43 100 or something. It's not crazy money, but if you get some catalogs, I can set you up with some DVDs and show you where I get the bags. I can help you with the labels. And if you're thinking of going to vintage snowmobile shows or muscle car shows, I can get you in some of these DVDs very, very cheap at my own cost, which is not much. And you can hand out and I usually lead with a DVD. Hey, would you like a muscle car DVD? And I'm sorry, I've got a hell of a cold. But this is something that we can help you do if you sign up under Ben. This is all available to you. If you like the idea of going to these shows and having something free to hand out, the idea of giving something of value for free, which the DVD would be, it's a free muscle car DVD or a free vintage snowmobile DVD. You can go to shows and hand these things out, and you get calls and inquiries. It's a very powerful way to get the word out. And I think Rob just went to get something for some show and tell here. Let's see what he's got.
I went to do a cough. I didn't want to cough on the screen because I'm getting over the cold.
Gotcha.
If you're going to go to the show, buy a hat from Amsoil. You wouldn't believe how many people ask me, oh, you belong to Amsoil? Or like Ben and me, both got shirts on. It attracts a lot of customers to shirts and stuff like that. I do my labels. I go to a company called Staples and I buy a package and I And I print my own labels off. These ones are for my daughter. So there's 10 labels on a page, and it's pretty cheap. And I do it on my own printer.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to figure out where the rest of them are. I got the original package in here somewhere, but I don't see it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do a similar thing too. I buy the Avery sheets.
That's what
These
these are.
labels come, 5 or 10 to a sheet, or I don't remember how many, but and I
Yeah.
design it the way I like it, which I can help you with if someone's needing help with that. And then you just either with your own printer, I go to the library's printer because they have a better quality printer than my own. And yeah, gets the labels on there, and you can have whatever message you like on there, and we can help you with that message too if you're needing help with that.
Yeah. My daughter just has her simple, just her name, her cell phone number, and her email, and that's it, and her reference number. Yep. She doesn't have her address or anything. I don't, just clean, simple, because all the information's in the Amsoil brochure.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We've got a comment coming in. John Springer Jr. says he loves the Mudslinger on his side by side. It makes cleanup so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish it was more available in Canada. Ben,
Yeah. Thank you for that, John. Go ahead.
anybody that signs up as a dealer within the next couple of weeks from you, you send me an email and I'll send them all 100 catalogs. Because
Excellent.
you don't have any catalogs, you can't get started. You
That's
gotta
right.
have something to show to the people. Yeah. And every time I give a person a catalog, I said, when you're done reading it, give it to a friend.
Yeah, good point.
An excellent idea.
Yeah.
That way it lives on.
If you go into my doctor's office, there'd be 4 of my catalogs sitting there all the time.
Nice.
If you go to my dentist's office, I went to him and said, all you have is girls' magazines out there. Can I put a guy's magazine out there? And he said, we don't want any of those magazines. I said, no, an automotive magazine. He said, yeah. So they've even phoned me. They've had people come in and say, you had a magazine here about Amsoil, but it's not here now. She goes, oh, I know the guy. I'll give me his phone number. Here's his phone number. Because the lady's husband read it and didn't want to take it home, came back, and it was gone. Eh?
Wow. That's cool that they were asking for it.
Yeah. And you know what? If you ask your doctor, they don't mind you leaving it. Because all their magazines aren't very interested.
And I'll tell you too, I mean, we all wear the Amsoil around town and stores and things like that. And you're right, it gets comments. And I think the best moments, these aren't moments that are productive money wise, but you see someone else wearing Amsoil, in a store or something, instant conversation, instant friends, it's
Yeah.
because they've got a lot to say about it. And I've got a lot to say about it. And it's really fun.
Yeah.
And then go ahead.
Ben, what direction you want to take your business?
Well, right now, it's really just a learning curve that I'm coming up against and just really trying to make sure I understand all the products. I think primarily it will be the snowmobile motorsport vein. This season for snowmobiling was not ideal. I think we used a sum total of about a half a gallon of oil ourselves. Just was not great. So we're optimistic for a nice season next year, and I'm just very committed to having the best quality products. And the nice thing about this is now I don't have to chase around for a sale. I don't have to chase around wondering what I'm getting for the product. I know what I'm getting is a good product.
Yeah. Right now, I'm done my snowmobile season, so now I'm working on the people because they're all going to be bringing out their motorcycles soon, and plus the people are all bringing out their hot rods. Amsoil has a big line of Z-Rod products, high zinc oil, and not too many companies have high zinc available. And so I'll be at the car shows telling the people about the zinc oil. So that's what I'll be doing for the next couple of months, doing a couple of car shows, and then as soon as the tracks open up, I love going to the tracks. Yeah, and a lot of the guys I help that I know race. Why don't you come some Saturday night with us? You can set up a booth free. I talked to the owner of the track, so I go there. I set up a booth. They give me free tickets to get in. I have fun at the track, and my wife and daughter goes with me. We have fun going doing these events. Then come the middle of the summer, and that's when I start working on my bus clients. They're good clients. Good
Oh,
clients.
school buses, good idea.
Yeah. Because if you talk to
They
some
have
guy,
fleets of them.
a lot of fleets that one person owns 10 or 12 buses, eh? and they don't have a spare bus. And if a bus is down, they're in trouble. So they want the best possible product they can, and they pay a guy every month to change the oil because in 4 weeks' time they got 3,000 miles on the vehicle. The oil's got to be changed. So by running the Amsoil, these guys are going the whole season without changing the oil and just changing it at the end of the season. And they're getting better fuel economy and stuff like that. So once you get one or two of the small bus companies switched over, other bus companies are calling me saying, what's about this gear lube that you were selling and stuff like that, eh? Yeah, yeah. Because we're having problems with the training, and my brother-in-law's got the same bus and he has no problem. So
Yeah.
it takes a while to get them to switch over because they go by bids, some of them, and other ones go by the lowest price. So by explaining to them, okay, you're paying how much for your oil now? You're doing how many oil changes? Your mechanic's spending one Saturday every month just doing oil changes because you got 10 buses. If we can eliminate that and we can give you a 10% increase in gas mileage. Now, some of these guys are burning $1,000 worth of fuel a week in a bus. 10% increase in fuel economy, that's $100 a week they're saving.
Yeah. They'll feel that.
Yeah, yeah. And some of them are getting, and then that one winter morning when it is 30 below, and the buses all start because some of the bus drivers take their bus home with them, parking in their own house, so they don't have places to plug it in, and
Hmm.
that bus got to be able to start. And at 40 below, 40, 50 below low, Amsoil will still start in cold weather, no problem. Don't have to plug in. So
That's
we can
amazing.
eliminate
Inside.
problems
Go
and save money. So that's a way to get into the door with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
A guy approached me one time. He said, "How do you sell a $20 quart of oil?" I said, "What are you talking about?" "Well, I've been trying to sell my friends and my neighbors all $20 quarts of oil, and they don't want to buy it." I said, "I don't sell a $20 quart of oil. I sell a quart of oil that's going to make the engine last longer. I sell a quart of oil that's going to give them better gas mileage. I sell a quart of oil that's going to cut down friction and drag so the engines last longer and run 20 to 50 degrees cooler." And the customer says, "What's that cost?" I said, $20. And they said, "That's all it costs?" But this other guy goes and says, "You want to buy a $20 quart of oil?" No, you got to tell them the benefits and how it's going to save them money to get them to buy it. And then once I tell them all the benefits, 90% of the guys don't even ask me the price. I want that for my BMW. I want that for my Mercedes. Yeah.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, the Amsoil name speaks for itself. A lot of people are very familiar with the quality that's associated with Amsoil. It's considered to be the best automotive fluids that exist in life.
Well, over 50 years ago, it was the first synthetic oil to be AI approved. Now, Mobil One's claiming they're the first synthetic oil out there. You know what? The people that developed the oil for the jet aircrafts, they were the ones that developed the first synthetics.
Hmm. It started there,
And they're the
and then
same
came to automotive.
and they're the same ones that helped our companies design their oil too, eh? Yeah, it
Nice.
came from the line of the jet aircraft people, eh? That's why we were so much advanced, more than Mobil One and all those were years and years ago, because we went to a higher quality oil to start with. Yeah,
Yeah, and independent tests have always been conclusive that Amsoil is the best oil.
yeah. It's a type of product
Yeah,
where someone puts it in the car and notices right off the bat, my car's running quieter, smoother. I got more power. Yeah.
yeah,
And people ask me, how can an oil do that? Well, synthetic oils are slipperier than petroleum oils, so they cut down friction and drag, so there's less wear and tear on the engine. And stronger film strength of the oil is going to give you more compression, more horsepower. The fuel burns better, and that's why you notice a difference in performance by using it.
and you can go longer between oil changes, and that creates value. It saves you money.
Yeah, it's called, you change your petroleum oil because of oxidization. That's when the oil, gas, and hot fumes mix together. It oxidizes, forms carbons, gums, and sludges. Jet aircrafts never change oil in the engine for the life of the engine because it's a closed and concealed like a transmission. So it never does break down. But Amsoil does have some blow by go by. So it does have to be changed once a year. Some people don't. I'm not going to mention my name.
Yeah,
70,000 kilometers, what in your place would be 40,000 miles. I took it to the dealership, and the dealership, "Why you changed this oil? This oil is brand new." I said, "Look at the speedometer. Has 40,000 miles on the oil. It hasn't been changed yet. The oil was still spotlessly clean." But it's a
that's
guy,
amazing.
I do a lot of highway driving. Makes a lot of difference. Somebody, my friend that drives a cab, his vehicle after 20,000 miles, it is dirty because it's stop and go, stop and go. He does more idling than he does driving.
Hmm.
He runs the Amsoil in his car because he wants to get 2 million miles on his car, and he'll
Yeah.
be able to do that by running the Amsoil in it. Yeah.
Oh, and I've got a question that's come in. This is a good question too. James Whiteside says, I bought 5 quarts of the Interceptor 2 years ago, fully hoping to use it, but Mother Nature ruined that. So he's wondering, what is the shelf life on that if you don't use it right away?
In my opinion, there's no shelf life at all. But Amsoil, because the product is sold in a retail place, it has to have a shelf life. And Amsoil's, I think it's 10 years, it says on their label. Yeah. But when I was talking to the technical department, I told them I've got some stuff that is still in cans that is AMZ. So it's 45 years old. And they said it would still be good.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
And
So he doesn't have to worry about that, even if it takes a few more years for him to go through that oil.
yes.
That oil's still going to be fine.
Yep. Yep. And Amsoil back in 1972 came out with the 10W40 AMO. We still have that same oil available on the market. And they came out with ATC 100-to-1 2 cycle. And that same oil, the same ingredient, made the same way, is still made the same way since 1972, and no one else can compete with it yet.
That's impressive.
Yep. Now they came out with a lot more oil since then. I think we got 11 European oils. We got a high mileage oil now. That's why I had to buy the extra trailer for. I
Yeah.
couldn't store enough oil.
I'll tell you, my first experience with Amsoil, I'm going to say it was 1977, give or take. A good friend of mine, I was staying at his house, and his father ran one of these loaders that loads the log truck. So he's got a kind of like a 10-wheel truck with a little crane on the back of it. So someone approached him and switched him to Amsoil both for the motor as well as hydraulic fluid because he couldn't afford breakdowns. And he was so impressed with that. He was excited one night. He said, "Guys, come in here, come in here." And I think he had he must have had the oil, but he had regular motor oil and Amsoil, and he'd make a little puddle of both on the concrete floor in the basement. And he would take a propane torch, and since the flash point on the Amsoil is so much higher than the conventional oil, the mineral oil, you put the torch on the conventional oil and it flames up. The Amsoil didn't flame up at all. And I think whoever sold that to him did that as kind of a demonstration, and he was impressed with it, and he wanted to impress us, and it did. So we're like, wow, that's Amsoil? That's crazy. That's amazing. So that was my first impression of Amsoil, and it's always left a positive impression of what Amsoil is in my mind all these years.
When I used to beginning doing shows, we always had demonstrations at the show. And one of them was I get 7 different kinds of 2-cycle oil and I put them in a styrofoam box on dry ice. And I take the oil down to 40 below zero. And all the other ones, it's paint stir sticks in them. And when you pulled it out, it was like taffy, one solid. And the Amsoil, even at 40 below, was still fluid, even at 60 below before it started getting thick. Eh? And we
That's
also
amazing.
had a gear lube. There were 6 sets of gears in a row and a crank handle on top. And we'd put it in a cooler on dry ice and bring it out, and it'd be 20 below. And the petroleum side, it would just cut a groove in the bottom of the crystal grease. It wasn't in a lubricant anymore. And that was a 75 W90 in that, eh?
Wow.
And the best one was I had 3 light bulbs, and at the end of the light bulb there was a chrome piece at the end of each light bulb, and we put a piece of a touch of grease on each light bulb. Turn it on within a minute, the other grease would run off. The Amsoil would sit there for 10 minutes and not even smoke, but the other ones would be smoking so bad that the smoke alarm would be going off in the place. Eh? Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That's impressive to see things like that.
yeah, yeah. And
And
Amsoil has a product called a bypass filter. And we sell oils, we sell filters. Then we have a separate filter that you take your filter off, screw on an element, and a line goes to 2 filters that mounted under your fender. 100% of the oil goes through the regular Amsoil filter, and 10% of the oil goes through a bypass. A regular filter will filter down to 40, 50 microns for Wicks and all those ones. Now the hair on our head's 60 microns. So some you see it, the negative light goes to those. Amsoil goes down to 99% of the dirt out at 15 microns. This bypass filter, it goes down to less than 1/10 of a micron.
wow.
So the Bobby Unser, the Indy racer, he was a promoter for that product for Amsoil. And he told me at a show one time, putting oil through this bypass filter is cleaner than brand new petroleum oil you're buying off the shelf right now. Eh? It cleans it better than brand new petroleum oil is. Eh? But with that type
That's
of
amazing.
system, you didn't have to change oil in the vehicle for 100,000 miles. So we used to have this great big demonstration unit there with a pump and a reservoir, and we have a Fram PH1, one of the racing filters on it, and then we'd have the Amsoil bypass on it. We'd run the filter through, and we had carbon dirt in it that was at 40 microns. So no matter how long it ran through, it would never clear. Then we'd turn the switch over and go through the Amsoil bypass filter, and within 1 minute, you could see the oil cleaning right up. And we do this 10, 20, 50 times during the show. But one time at the show, the guy turned it in the middle, and he's sitting there talking away. Look how much this is clean the engine. Clean engine will last longer. But he had it in the middle, and the pump kept pumping and pumping, and the hose was kept blowing up, and then exploded all over all of us. We tried. We only use that for demonstrating on a video now.
Sure.
Yeah, but we still have that bypass filter available.
Nice. Now, a question for Ben. Over the years, have you had any exposures or experiences with Amsoil that gave you either a positive, negative, or otherwise impression of them? Or
Well, growing up, my dad would buy typically a lot of different oils. He'd buy them at auction, and he was kind of a renegade that way. He really believed simpler. He wasn't always buying into some of the hype, but I kind of would have watched quietly over the years, and we see some of the failures of using the wrong oils. So that's one experience. The second is that in all the years I've been involved in equipment through my dad growing up, I've never heard one story about Amsoil not delivering.
nice.
I think that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Yep. I was snowmobiling one time, Ben, and I came into his gas station. There was a guy there with a tractor trailer and a float, and the bulldozer was running. So there's 10 of us all filling up, so I had to wait. So I'm talking to the guy with the float. I said, "Why do you got that running?" He said, "Once it gets 20 below, it doesn't start, and we do the logging roads. So this thing is going to go 30 miles out in the woods, and we're going to leave it running from Monday right till Friday till I go pick it back up Friday." I said, "Well, that's a lot of fuel you're using." He says, "Yep, but we can't afford to have a guy with," he called it a hot box, to go in to boost it to get it working when it's 20, 30 below zero. He says, "We need that thing running before the loggers can go up and down the logging roads." So I said, "Why don't you try Amsoil?" So he questioned me all about it. He said, "When can I get some?" I said, "I can bring it back up next weekend." Following weekend, I brought him up some diesel oil, some gear lube, switched the whole thing over. And he took it in the woods. And he said, "I told the guy to shut it off Monday morning." And he said, "I drove in the woods 30 miles and it was 32 below just to try it myself." And he said, "I turned the key over, the thing went chug, chug, and fired up just like summertime." He said, "Why did that work so well?" I said, "Well, you got fuel injection, right?" I said, "You got glow plugs. The only thing you need with a diesel is compression. And the problem is with your petroleum oil, it gets thick, turns to the honey, and it's all sitting in the bottom of the crankcase. You got to turn that thing over to build up heat, to thin that oil out, to get your compression, get the oil pumped up there to get compression, because it will not fire without compression. The reason it fires just like it does in summertime, because the oil is still fluid." I said, "Look at this." And it was only 20 below the day I'm talking to him after I went back up to see him. I said, "Look at this, 20 below." It pours right out of the bottle. And he was so impressed how well that thing started. His whole equipment's all switched over to the Amsoil now.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
there's no turning back after something like that.
Did you know many times I went in there on the weekends and kids were climbing all over the piece of equipment, trying to undo my change, trying to move them, because he left them running, sitting there all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. That's asking for trouble too. So for someone, to try to steal it or vandalize it or mess with it, or
Yeah.
to leave a piece of equipment like that running in the woods for, days like that.
Yeah.
Someone with bad intentions comes across that, they could really do a number on you.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these people, once they start working in the woods, they're working there 24 hours a day for like 3 weeks straight. So there's an
Sure.
afternoon crew, a night shift. So there's people going back and forth all the time. And it's not safe for the snowmobiles to be going up and down that road.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I was out there time and I lost my mom. And I stopped for a pee and I told my mom, "You go ahead, I'll catch up." She got on the log road. I didn't know she went this way or that way. So I went that way looking. After 20 minutes, I came back. I went that way and I seen a logging truck coming. So I followed him. I'm waving at him to stop. He couldn't stop until he's on top of the hill.
Oh, yes, momentum.
Said, "I lost my mom. She's 65 years old. She's in a green Arctic Cat suit driving a Jag, and I haven't seen her for a half an hour." And he's sitting there. I think she just came over the next hill, and here my mom come, pop, 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 pop. She didn't even know she was lost. Didn't tell her.
That's
Yeah.
that's cool. Cool. So I'm looking at the clock here. I don't know where this time went, but we've been at this 55 minutes, and it is time to wind it down. I wanted to give each of us a chance to have some closing comments. Did you have any closing thoughts, Ben?
Yeah, I wanted to thank both you and Rob for taking me in as a dealer. Obviously, I appreciate all the help you've given me so far. I know I'll find my way as to where my niche will be, but I feel I'm well on my way, and I've had a good response from people that know I'm doing it.
Yes, and you're doing well already. You've got some good people signed up under you, and yeah, you're well on your way with this for sure. Any more to add to that, or?
No,
Yeah.
I think the product line is so universal. We've talked about various pieces of equipment, but every single piece of equipment or motorsport toy that has an engine, Amsoil has the product for it.
Yes. Yes. And Rob?
If anybody's got any questions, how to start a business, get a hold of Ben. We can do a conference call just like this, me, you, Ben, and Mike, and we're here to help you. So the more we help you, the more it helps Ben, the more it helps Mike with his broadcast. So we're here
Absolutely.
to promote your business. So let us
Definitely.
know if we can help you.
Yes, and if you're helping Ben, you're helping me, you're helping Rob, and if you're helping me, you're helping the podcast. And yeah, we really appreciate that. And we've got this on the screen. I'm going to keep this up for a moment in case you want to write that down or freeze frame that or whatever you need to do. Also, a thing we wanted to experiment with. I don't know. You probably have to be at a computer watching this, but if we want to find out if someone is able to scan that QR code off the screen like this.
They can screenshot it.
Yeah, maybe you gotta take a screenshot, or maybe if you're at a
Right.
computer, if you hold your cell phone up to it and see if you can scan that. But we'd be curious to know if it's possible to scan that QR code. And if not, you've got his number and everything right there. But yeah, and I guess the final thoughts I have is I've really enjoyed this journey so far. I'm in my third year now with Amsoil, having a great time with it, and it's a very positive experience. Go ahead, Rob.
And the best way is start off as a preferred customer. Get the product at your best possible price. And if you like the way the product performs, the way the Amsoil says it should, and customers that might want it, sign up as a dealer then. Yeah.
Yes,
Customers make the best dealers.
true. Yeah, if you've been using it and you can speak of it of your own experience.
Yep.
Absolutely. And then if you decide to become a dealer, one of your best investments is to get some of these catalogs
I have one.
and get some labels printed and just start giving them out.
Yep.
Pardon me. I'm going to mute my mic. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, my voice is just about done for the night too.
Yeah, I've had it for a week, Mike. I got better this morning finally.
Yeah, I think we must have got too close to the screen or something and caught it from each other.
Okay, Mike. Have a good birthday tomorrow.
Well, thank you so much. I'm just popping a few last minute comments on here. Yeah, and thank you so much for everyone viewing this. We appreciate it, and we thank you for everyone who's been buying Amsoil. And please support Ben and his new journey here with Amsoil. All of his information is in the description. Click and oh yeah, Kevin Culhane says very interesting. This would be a good gig for retirement. Absolutely, it sure is fun. And you're going if you want to if you enjoy going to boat shows, car shows, snowmobile shows. Yeah, it's a great way to monetize that and have a good time. Oh, here we go. Thank you for happy birthday. All right. So I think what I'm going to do in closing, I'm going to play a little video that Rob and I made. It's coming up on 3 years ago now.
Yes.
Just a little pitch, but we air it at the end of all of our podcasts. And yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ben,
Thanks
Rob,
again.
and to all the viewers. Have a great evening.
Happy birthday, Mike.
See you
Thank you
later.
very much. Hello, everyone. This is Rob and Mike. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing good. Mike, yourself?
Very well. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Now, today, we're going to be talking about Amsoil. And in a few moments, we're going to show you how you can get the deepest discounts, free shipping, and free gifts when you order your Amsoil products through us. But first, I'm going to ask Rob to give you a quick description of what Amsoil is and why you should consider using Amsoil products in your motorized vehicles.
Thanks, Mike. Amsoil is 100% synthetic oil. Everybody uses Amsoil for a different reason. Some people like the benefits that Amsoil is warranted for 25,000 miles or 1 year. The reason we can do that is because Amsoil doesn't oxidize. It doesn't form the usual carbons, gums, sludges like petroleum oils do. That's why we can keep it in the engines longer. Petroleum oils never do wear out. They oxidize themselves. That's why they have to be changed at 3,000 kilometers. And Amsoil likes the benefit that you only have to change the oil once a year. That saves some money. Some of the people like the benefit of Amsoil is it's a slipperier type lube. By having a slipperier type lube, it cuts down friction and drag. By less friction and drag, engines run 20 to 50 degrees cooler, better gas mileage. Now, Amsoil says 25% more protection than the industry requires is in the Amsoil bottles. My average customer gets about 10% increase in gas mileage. That's a big savings.
Yeah.
And by cutting down friction and drag, for every 10 degrees you cut down the friction and drag, doubles the life of the engine. So by having the engine run cooler, it makes it last longer. Some people like the benefit of the range of the Amsoil. Amsoil's flash point is 425 degrees, and it pours at 50 below zero.
Wow.
If you ever tried petroleum oil when it's 10 below, it turns to honey. And in the summertime, petroleum oil thins out. And once it thins out, that's when it starts breaking down. So Amsoil's an all-season oil, can give you better gas mileage, longer engine life, less maintenance. It ends up being cheaper over a year's time running Amsoil than it is petroleum oils.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Amsoil is available for pretty much any motorized vehicle, anything from lawn equipment, cars, trucks, boats, ATVs, motorcycles, snowmobiles.
Yep. And a lot of people phone me up and say, well, what's the benefit of our gear lube? Exactly what I told you about the engine oil. It pours in cold weather, it runs cooler, makes the equipment last longer. And they say, well, what's the benefit of the small engine? Same thing. Makes the engine run cooler, last longer, better performance. So it saves on all the applications that Amsoil has available.
Wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, let's talk now. Hopefully this has convinced people to think about maybe joining us in the Amsoil experience. Let's talk about some of the discounts and free shipping and how that all happens. I'm going to pop a graphic on the screen. And yeah, by all means, if you want to talk people through how this preferred customer program works.
Amsoil has a number of different programs. One of our main ones is a catalog customer, where somebody can order directly out of our catalog. If they order out of the catalog, they order $100 worth, Amsoil will ship it right to their house. But our best program is our preferred customer. For only $10 for 6 months, you become a preferred customer, you save 25% on all the product. You order $100 worth, they're going to give you free shipping. You don't have to order a whole case. You can mix and match. Say you want 4 bottles of small engine, 7 bottles of 5W30, and a couple of gear loops. You can mix and match. You can order 1 bottle at a time if you want. There's no minimums, no maximums. By being a preferred customer, you save over 25% on all the products you're going to buy. Amsoil sends you extra gifts, a $5 gift certificate on your birthday, $5 when you renew your account, stuff like that. So it's a good way to save on some of the products you want to buy.
For sure. Yeah, it's an incredible value. And this is the deepest level of discount that anyone can get when ordering Amsoil. Is that correct?
It is.
Wonderful. So let's take people through the step-by-step experience of placing an Amsoil order. Then that would include signing up for the preferred customer preferred customer program, so they can receive those deepest levels of discount. So let's go to the website. This is what the website's going to look like. These are some screenshots. Once you go to amsoil.com, there's a link in the description, or you can just type that into a browser, amsoil.com. This is the page you land on. At the upper corner of the page there, you see how I've circled in red. That is the link to click, the Join Now link. That will take you to the Preferred Customer Program page, where you can take advantage of all of these discounts and free shipping and everything that we've just been talking about. This is what that page looks like. In the lower right, you're going to click Join Now. This will pop up. You select the duration you'd like, whether it's 6 months or 12 months, and click Add to Cart. Now, once this pop-up goes away, you'll be back on the main page. And the upper left, you'll see where I've got that red arrow. It says Shop. Now you can start shopping for products, and on your very first order, you're going to get these discounts and the free shipping as long as it's over $100. You'll get all of these benefits right away. So once you click Shop, it's going to take you to the product page. There's different types of oils, lubricants, so on and so forth. For the benefit of this exercise we're doing now, I'm just going to click motor oil. It shows different types of motor oil. Let's click gasoline. Now this takes us to an item. It's their synthetic motor oil. And you can see the item there, and there's choices for different viscosities. But take a look at the price. Let's take a closer look. Let's zoom in. But if you've joined the preferred customer program first, you're going to automatically get the deepest levels of discount. That's what we're looking at here. You're saving $3.80 on that quart of oil. Instead of paying $16.29, you're now paying $12.49 for that quart of oil. That is the deepest level of discount you can possibly get. And then you just add the quantity that you'd like. You select any other items that you're thinking about, add them to the cart. And once you click Add to Cart for the final time, you're going to see this come up at the top of the screen. It's going to show your items and your the total that you're at so far. Pardon me. And then you just click View Cart in the upper right, and that'll take you to your cart. Take a close look here at the upper right. That blue box shows that you're getting free shipping. You're eligible for free shipping on this order because it's over $100. That little yellow box shows that you've got the preferred customer membership on your order that gives you the deepest levels of discounts for the next 6 to 12 months. And then below that, you've got the items that have been selected. For the exercise here, I selected 9 quarts of the signature series, but that brings us up over $100 for the free shipping. We're saving $34.20. And if you're ready to finish, you click checkout now, and that takes you to this screen here. If you haven't signed up with an Amsoil account at this point, just click in the lower right to create an account, create a new account. It's going to ask you for some basic information, name, and those types of things. Now let's take a closer look. You'll see this gray shaded box. This is a very important box. This is going to ask you if someone has referred you to Amsoil. And if so, please enter my name. My name is Mike LaPierre. It's spelled right there on the screen for the correct spelling. And also the referral number, 304-555-94. That's how you make sure that Rob and I get credit for this. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I have signed up for Amsoil under Rob. So when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. So if you enjoy these podcasts that we're doing, this is a wonderful way to support the podcast, because when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. And the commissions I make go directly toward offsetting the cost of doing these podcasts. So I thank you in advance for that, for using my referral number. I very much appreciate it. And once you've done that, you just go into the next screen to enter your payment information, and you're done. Now, once you've placed your order that's over $100, and that order includes your Amsoil Preferred Customer Program, you are now eligible to get a free DVD from myself. Now, this is going to be either a muscle car DVD or a vintage snowmobile DVD. Use the email address on the screen, wkspodcasts@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know which DVD you would like me to send you, the muscle car or the vintage snowmobile DVD, and I'll get that right out to you. As you're typing in that email, in the subject line, be sure and type in capital letters "free DVD requests" so it stands out as I'm checking my email, and we'll get that right out to you. So I guess the last thing, Rob, that we wanted to talk about is if someone is considering Amsoil as a business opportunity.
Yes. If anybody has a retail or a commercial account and they would like to buy directly from Amsoil, just send Mike a line. He'll show you how to set up, and you can buy directly from Amsoil. But if you are interested in starting your own part-time business, a part-time business that can grow into a full-time income, Mike and I will show you the Amsoil marketing plan. Amsoil has a large selection of products that cover almost every application. So it doesn't matter if you're into snowmobile, boating, or ATVing or hot rods, we have an oil for every application. It's a fun type business that's I really enjoy doing. Where else can I go and have fun and make money doing it? And Mike and I are here to help you all the way along. If you need any help on how to promote or to find new accounts, we're here to help you.
For sure. So when you sign up under that number, this 304-555-94, you're getting Rob and I as a team. Now, Rob has been doing Amsoil for 40 years. Can you believe that? 40 years. So he knows every aspect of this business, and he knows all of the ins and outs of the products. So he'll be able to help you with any kind of product questions or any kind of questions to show you the different business models that you can do with Amsoil. And then the other thing that you get when you sign up under me is I've got a strong background in social media. So if you need some coaching on how to generate Amsoil leads using Facebook and YouTube, I'm happy to coach you with that when you sign up under Rob and I. You get both of us as a team to help you, to coach you, to support you, whatever you need to get you off and running with this business and having fun with it. Like Rob said, it's an enormous amount of fun. If you're like Rob and I and you enjoy going to any kind of boat shows, car shows, motorcycle shows, snowmobile shows, anything with a motor, you like going to those shows, those events, those races, this is a great way to turn that into a income opportunity for you.
Yes. And just by wearing my Amsoil hat at one of these events, people come up and ask me about Amsoil.
Wonderful.
People don't know where to buy it, and I'm there to help them, show them where they can buy the products.
Perfect. Well, cool. Well, this is great. Any final thoughts, Rob, before we wrap it up?
Amsoil's a fun business. Amsoil's been around since 1968. It was the first synthetic oil to be AI approved.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's very early in the game too, isn't it?
Yes.
For sure. Well, good. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for viewing. Hopefully, we've gotten you excited as we are about the Amsoil products. We'd love it if you could join us either as someone who uses the Amsoil products or to join the Amsoil team as a business opportunity. And we thank you so much for viewing. Have a great day.
You have a good day.
Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm. Small world. Oh my god. Jeez. Crazy. Okay, Carrie Lynn. Okay. Love ya. Okay. Bye. How'd your show go?
Good. Just kind of got dirt on his face for.
Paint. Like they've all got paint on their face. Message